On Tuesday, I will conquer my greatest adversary. Because I'm sure most of you guys know, in order for me to get that job as a correctional officer a couple of years ago, they politely told me, like, listen, man, your vision isn't bad, but for this job, you're going to need glasses. Because I was below their minimal requirement in terms of vision, for the job. They want you to have 20/20 vision for the job, and I don't have that without correction, right? No pun intended. And I've been trying to get contacts for a while, but my first time, I took the contact, test because you're supposed to put the contact in your eyes before you get approved to get the whole box. Failed that the first time. Tried again Friday, failed it the second time. But you know what? Third time's the charge. And on Tuesday, I'm going to conquer my greatest adversary and kiss these bitches goodbye. But this video is not to talk about, my battle with glasses. This battle is to talk about something that I was really thinking about for the last 72 hours. And, I've known this since a kid. But a lot of people, you know, when we're born, now this heavily depends on the country you're born in, but for the sake of this video, because most of my audience is from the West, America, UK, etc., countries that are free, for this specific video, I'm going to be speaking in context of Western countries. So if you live in China, North Korea, Taiwan, this video won't be talking about you as much. See, when you're born in a Western country, especially America, you're told from birth that you live in the land of the free. We have a constitution that guarantees our freedom. And in 2022, most Western countries have some type of constitution. School basically implies that we're the only one with such a law, but that's not true. Both of our neighbors have constitutions, Mexico and Canada, as well as most Western states. But it's basically worded in a way that because we have a constitution, we have ultimate freedom, and our soldiers fought and died so we can have that freedom. And we're like the most free country in the world. Let me just close this text message real quick as I'm making a video. And average children believe this. Children that have a little bit more intelligence than normal, they question this because, even as a kid, you observe things. You're like, oh, I have freedom, but why do I get in trouble when I do something that goes against the norms of society? When I was trying to get into a school for kindergarten. It was either kindergarten or first grade. This is when I went to cross country. One of the teachers tried to tell my mom and my dad, this was back before they got divorced. She tried to tell my parents that, listen, there's something wrong with your kid. He has too much energy. He's got ADD, ADHD. My mom looked at her and she was like, what the fuck is that? Right? Then the teacher explain that it's a condition where, keep in mind, I'm like 4 years old, 4 or 5 years old, however old I was in kindergarten. I'm like 4 or 5 years old. And this fucking teacher was trying to tell me that as a 4-year-old kid, I had too much energy. And that I get bored if a topic doesn't interest me. Yeah, just think about that for a second. A 4-year-old kid is getting bored because a topic doesn't interest him. Oh, you must have a disease, right? My mom basically politely told her, you're full of shit. There's nothing wrong with a kid having too much energy, and he knows the work. That's why he's getting bored. So I basically had to demonstrate that I knew the material. I had to prove my mom correct in order to get enrolled in that elementary school. Now, of course, I didn't see the point. I'm like, why the fuck would I do this? Like, I already know the material. Just advance me to the next grade, right? But it didn't work like that back then, right? So I said, no, I'm not doing this. I want to go home, right? Teacher was like, see, he does have ADHD, right? But my dad was like, no, we'll be back in the day, right? And my dad um, tried to use positive reinforcements. Hey, Christopher, if you go back to that school, you get to ride your little go kart all day tomorrow. And me, 4-year-old me, I'm like, really, Dad? Oh, basically bribing me to play the game, right? So I went back tomorrow, aced the little fucking test, right? Because this is like a little secret that's not a secret. Among certain families, it starts in pre-K, right? Pre-K is optional, but it starts in pre-K, right? When you're born into certain families, they try to start you from a young age. Indoctrination. They make you go to certain schools. They make you have tutors. My dad was very loyal to the system because in his mind, the system took care of him. His whole family was like that, you know. That's the white side of my family. They come there, they're very upper class, right? And for them, it starts in pre-K. They go to the best pre-Ks, they go to the best kindergartens, elementary schools, middle schools. It starts from a very young age, getting you in the system. So I went back and I aced the little entrance thing and, got enrolled in that school, right? This was the first time in my life that I noticed, if you're different or abnormal, the system tries to find a way to punish you. Now, I'm glad my mom was intelligent enough to see through the deception because I don't know if any of y'all have ever, and this is just a quick thing, man. I'm going to get a lot of hate for saying this. If you are a kid that's on ADD, ADHD medicine, stop taking that shit immediately. If you're a parent and you're giving your child ADD, ADHD medicine, stop giving them that shit immediately. Look up the medicine that you're giving your child or the medicine that you're taking. Look at the chemical components. Look at the effects. That shit is legalized methamphetamine. I have a homeboy named Riley. He's been on a few of my videos. He'll probably see this one, and he'll probably comment down below that what I'm telling is accurate. When I first met this dude, man, this was like 5, 6, 7 years ago, right? He had just started the 9th grade, man. That motherfucker acted like a meth head, bro. But I just thought he was weird, right? I'm like, okay, what the fuck is with this guy, right? That's because of the fucking medicine he was on. Once he stopped taking that shit, he started acting, more normal for him, right? This video wasn't to talk about drugs, though, but I'm glad my mom was intelligent enough even back then, because my mom was a young mom. She was like, my brother's 9 years older than me. She had him when she was 20, so, I mean, she was like late 20s, early 30s. She was a young parent, right? But even back then, she was intelligent enough to know that she was being deceived, right? My mom isn't like my dad. She's not extremely loyal to the system. But at 4 years old, I had already saw that, they tell us that we're free, but if we do anything to go against the norms of society, they try to punish us. And even at this age, this started me having problems with my dad and my brother. Because my dad and my brother, up until I stopped living with them, which was until the age of 15, 14, however old I was in 10th grade, 10th, 11th grade. Until I stopped living with them, they would always try everything in their power to get me to be loyal to the system. You got to go to school. You got to get all A's. You got to pass your tests. You got to blindly obey authority. Listen to whatever the teachers tell you, even if you're more intelligent than the teachers, right? We don't care if the work bores you because you know it. You got to do it anyways, right? Because I would get in trouble for sleeping in class because I'm just like, what's the point of learning this shit, right? And in school, they teach you Constitution. We're like the least corrupt country on planet Earth. We live in paradise, right? And then as you get older, you see that everything you've been taught is a lie. Now, I went into law enforcement because I wanted to get into internal affairs. Even at a young age, I saw cops, you know, police never really did anything bad to me other than firing me from corrections because I wrote a report on that corrupt sergeant, but that happened way later in life. But as a kid, police and government, other than trying to like get me to take medicine I didn't need, they never really did anything negative to me personally, but I seen what happened to other people. So even at a young age, I'm just like, we're land of the free, yet the cops can do whatever they want to you, and if you retaliate, they kill you. And, there's really nothing much you can do about it if a cop just decides to fuck your life up, right? But we're the land of the free. And, our soldiers, they go out and fight and die for freedom, but then when they come back, they get, even when they're being deployed, they get nothing. The average E3 is making like $14 an hour. Nothing, right? But they're on the front lines getting paid slave labor, getting paid basically minimal. You cannot survive off $14 an hour, guys. And they try to justify it by saying, oh, you can save your money. But listen to me, man. If you're saving 14, you're not going to survive, man. You feel me? It's just $14 an hour isn't enough. And, they try to say, oh, but when you finish the military, you can go into police, you can get free college, which college is, I'm going to make a video on why college is slave school anyways, but it's basically to just get you indoctrinated more into the system. But when you're intelligent enough to see reality, you see how you have no real freedom. You have the illusion of freedom. You have to play the game if you want to remain free. And if you don't play the game, the system finds ways to punish you, right? Oh, what's that? You're tired of working a minimum wage job, so you break the law to make more money than your peers? Unfortunately, that was my brother's downfall. You know what I'm saying? He got a taste of fast money, and it was his downfall, he would make like $2,000-$3,000 a week, doing what he did, right? And that's on the low end. Let me just close that text. And that's on the low end, and he started to get delusional. Oh, I'm not going to get caught because God doesn't let me get caught. And then his ass was caught a year later. When you start worshiping yourself, the universe around you removes its guidance from you. That's a different video for a different day. And and I'm not justifying what he did. Me and him got into an argument because I told him, you're selling poison to your fellow man. Nothing good's going to come from that. You'll get your money, but money is a means to an end. And it's crazy because if you deal drugs and you get caught, you'll get arrested and prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. But if a certified professional sells you drugs that are more harmful to you than illegal drugs, they make $100,000 a year. How much? The people that would have given me that ADHD medicine, how much money you think they would have made selling me that shit? That shit's not cheap. It's an illusion of freedom. You're only free to do certain things in the confinements of the laws of the system. You can sell drugs, but you have to go through the system. You can sell drugs that will harm people only if you go to slave school, sheeple school, you become a certified professional, you become a legal licensed drug dealer. Then you can sell drugs to kids that are more harmful than a lot of illegal, because again, that ADHD medicine, that's just legalized methamphetamine. For those of y'all that think I'm insane, look it up yourself. It's just crazy, right? Some of the shit that y'all give y'all kids, but then this is how deep the shit goes. You're taught from birth to blindly trust certified professionals. You're taught from birth to trust firefighters, police officers, soldiers, governments, teachers, etc. You're taught that not only will certified professionals never lie to you, but that certified professionals are never bad at their job. My mom, a lot of people are texting me today. My mom used to do hair. Oh my God, what are you up to now? I'm making a video. This chick doesn't know I have a YouTube, and unless we get serious, I'm not going to tell her. You don't need to tell chicks you're smashing, your business, right? Anyways, getting back to the point, I'm going to actually turn my shit on vibrate because it also comes through my computer. Anyways, where was that? But yeah, so, you have the freedom to operate in the confinements of the system, and if you try to find ways around the system, you get punished. Now, again, I'm not justifying my brother for anything that he did, but from a young age, you're taught blindly trust certified professionals. My mom used to do hair. My mom used to do my hair. Unfortunately for my mom, as she aged and got worse at her job, I had to stop getting her free services to go to the hair salon and pay, ironically certified professionals for their services, right? The reason I mention those 2 points is because not all certified professionals are equal. Now, you do legitimately have people that go into the craft because they want to help people. That was me. I became a certified professional. I became a certified law enforcement officer because I wanted to do my 3 years with the state, then transfer over to internal affairs and do, in my mind, what was cleaning up the corruption. Even though I was 23 years old when I started that journey, I was still a little naive to the game. A corrupt tree cannot produce good fruits, and at the time, I wish I heard the words, "You don't attract what you want, you attract what you are." Then I would have understood things a lot better. If I understood back then that because you're attracting what you are, unless you're corrupt yourself, you'll never fit in with the system, I never would have wasted those 3 years in law enforcement. I would have just been doing what I do right now, where I'm totally free, and I'm going to get to that. So not all certified professionals are the same. You do have people that go into the craft because they actually want to help people. The reason I brought up what my mom did was because she used to cut hair, she used to do hair, and she would watch other certified professionals cut people's hair off because they didn't want to properly provide the service. But the customers didn't know any better. Oh my, a certified professional told me that my hair is damaged and needs to get cut off. I better blindly listen to them and lose all my hair. And it's fucked up. That's why I tell you guys that if you're a weak man, you're playing the game on maximum difficulty. If you don't obtain the knowledge yourself, you're playing the game on maximum difficulty. Now, because my mom used to do hair, I know how to scope out the people that actually know what they're doing. And because I don't operate unless I know what I'm doing, I'm naturally attracting what I am. So you can employ certified professionals if you're either too lazy if you're either too lazy to learn the craft yourself, or if you're just not skilled at the craft yourself, right? Me, it's a combination of both, right? I don't know how to do my own hair, and to be quite frank, hair itself is a science that I really am not interested in learning. So I pay the certified profession to provide a service for me. But the reason I warn you guys not to blindly listen to certified professionals, you have to question everything. If you question nothing, you'll forever be deceived. Because while you do have certified professionals that seek to provide a good service to you, you also have others that are either just bad at their job or have ulterior motives. This is why I call it the illusion of freedom. They tell you that from birth that you're free, you're free, you're free, but in reality, you're forever trapped in the cycle if you follow this system. Now, shout out to Jetty. We don't talk anymore, but he said it best. Everything you see on the internet, everything you see on TV, everything you see around you, it's teaching you not how to escape the game, but to how to stay in the game forever. Chase money, chase status, chase females, right? It's to keep you in a cycle, a circle that you'll never escape. And most people never escape, right? Most people got to go into debt just to get into college. And for a lot of people, that debt follows them forever. Once you get in debt, you now have to work forever just to pay off that debt. You're now stuck in a cycle, a loop that most people never escape. You go on the internet, you got people lying to you saying that you need money and status to fuck bitches. And so what does that do? You spend the next 40 years of your life trying to get rich, trying to get stuck in the cycle just so you can achieve one thing. And the sole reason I'm making this video, the sole reason I started talking about controlled opposition is you guys got to question everything that you're taught, right? I was fortunate enough to be born with the genetics that allowed me to be intelligent enough, even as a kid, that I started questioning everything at a young age. I saw from 9 years old that what my teachers were teaching me was false. As a result, I always argued with my father. I always argued with my brother. I always argued with the teachers. I always argued with the kids around me that thought I was crazy. Well, it was really just the guys, right? The guys thought I was crazy, but the women love nerdy men. The women were like, oh, that Chris guy's smart, man. I got to hang around him more. But, and that's honestly the same way it is right now. You know what I'm saying? It's mostly guys. Not on my videos. I don't really attract too many people that watch my videos that think I'm, full of shit. But it's mostly like in real life. And it's usually the guys that are loyal to the system that think that what's being said is insane. And, that's why they call it as above, so below, because guys that are loyal to the system, they'll defend the system no matter what, because in their minds, even if it is just the illusion of freedom, the system's protecting me, so I'm going to be loyal to it. They never understand that they're stuck in the cycle too. Because the people that rule over you never tell you the absolute truth. You have to find that out on your own. And ignorance is bliss. If you don't know what you don't know, then you'll never know why you need to know more. You know what I'm saying? Before I got these glasses, I thought my vision was perfectly fine. And my vision is good. Don't get me wrong. I can see very well without my glasses. I just can't see far. Right? And I didn't know that my far-sighted vision was bad, because I lived for 23 years, never had glasses, never had contacts. I'm thinking my vision was perfect, right? Until I got my glasses and I put them bitches on. I'm like, wow. I'm like Superman. I could see. Because people used to talk about the stars in the skies, man. I never used to be able to see the stars in the sky because I didn't know what I was missing. I thought they were crazy until I got the glasses, and now I can see all the stars, right? So it's one of those things. If you don't know how important it is that you do know eventually. And the point I'm trying to make to you guys is you have the illusion of freedom. Now, from birth, you're taught you're free, but in reality, you got to make yourself free, right? If you listen to the system, you'll get yourself in debt and you'll be stuck in a loop forever where you have to chase money until you die. You'll be distracted with external pleasures, games, and, just things that will keep you from connecting with your inner self and seeing the reality in front of you. Now, you guys know this is not a bitching channel. I'm all about solutions. So now that 25-minute rant is done, what are the solutions? Simple. Once you've accepted that you were born into a world where you're taught the illusion of freedom, right? Because acknowledging what's going on is the first step to finding a solution. What's the solution? You have to make it so you have to earn the freedom yourself. You have to challenge the system. You have to find flaws and loopholes in the system. Only then will you obtain true freedom. I don't have a boss anymore. I don't got to deal with corrupt officers anymore. You guys see, for the most part, I pretty much do exactly what the fuck I want to do. I don't have a boss. I work when I want to. You know what I'm saying? I pursue any new craft that I want to pursue, and I have plenty of free time to research and study whatever I want to. Now, that's not free time to fuck around and play games all day. That's free time to stay productive, right? You see, money is a tool, a means to an end, and I'm going to make a video specifically talking about that. To me, the most important tool to have is knowledge, because when you have the knowledge, you can get the money if that's what you desire, and when you have the knowledge, you can see how to actually truly be free without being weighed down and held down by the system. Now, each individual is going to have to find their own path. But if you really want to enjoy life to its fullest, you first have to acknowledge that you have the illusion of freedom and you have to find a way to obtain true freedom. The ultimate goal for me is someday I seek to ascend above the game to where I have absolute and total freedom. I'm not at that level yet. I'm trying to ascend to that level. I already have more freedom than most people will ever have. But I want to go higher than that. I want to get to the point where I just don't have to play the game at all. Right now, I'm still playing the game. And half of the reason I make these videos is I want to see other people ascend with me together. Above me, even. You know what I'm saying? The path of high resistance. You know, I want to see as many people take the path of high resistance as possible because, you know, we do not live in an easy life. And nothing worth having is supposed to be easy. It's not supposed to be easy. But you know what? Those that can stick to it and be strong, gain the wisdom, the intelligence, the enlightenment, the knowledge, and apply it to their everyday craft, and then verify the results afterwards, those are the people that will ascend to true freedom. Those are the people that will understand the game, master the game, exit the game. Those are the people that will finish and get to the highest level, the level I seek to go to. So, hopefully this video has been informative. It turned into a longer rant than I wanted to, but hey, some of you guys like long videos, and yeah, you know. Question everything, even question what's being said in this video. Question every single thing that you're taught from birth, because a lot of the times what you've been taught from birth is intentional deception, which is okay. I have at least 4 videos now in this playlist alone talking about why you must be able to detect the truth from lies. It's mandatory. If you are unable to detect the truth from lies, you will fall into one of the many traps of deception. One of the traps of deception is thinking that you have freedom when you have the illusion of freedom. For anybody that thinks that they're truly free, go walk up to a police officer that's having a bad day and give them the middle finger, right? That's perfectly legal to do. But if you do that to the wrong cop, you're going to lose what little bit of freedom that you have. That's just one example of many. I've told several in this story. I got a million more. The system that we live in was perfectly designed thousands of years before we were even born. And breaking out of it is not easy. That's okay. It's not supposed to be easy. And I'm not here to complain. What I am here to do is give people a solution. I made a video called Gain the Knowledge, Apply the Knowledge, Verify the Knowledge. I suggest checking that one out next. But essentially, in addition to everything else I talk about in this playlist, you have to be honest with yourself. You have to be willing to learn more and accept what you don't know in order to learn what you don't know, and then use it combined with your free will to find an individual way for yourself to ascend to the point where you can break free from the game. Get you guys in the next one.